Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Hold down, man. Suitcase this, my cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, everybody? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor and hit that like and subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Today, I'm gonna be breaking it down and giving y'all a story on the very first time that I actually drank street liquor while I was incarcerated in prison. Okay? I didn't only do it one time. I've did it several times while incarcerated. Okay? As well as drinking the homemade stuff that we used to make in there, which is called buck. It's what we call it down here in Florida. Some people call it hooch. Or some people may name it Chang whiskey, whatever you name it. But down here in Florida, we call it buck. But I'm going to be speaking on actual street liquor. The very first time, how I felt. Did the liquor get the best of me? Or what happened that day and everything. So here we go. Now, the first time that I drank street liquor inside of prison, of course my body wasn't ready for it because I had been, locked away and not on alcohol for a very long time. Now, this happened to be a New Year's Eve. So, we set things up to where we were able to get things how we needed so, we can enjoy ourselves. 1 year gone, that's another one closer to the house. Just because you're on the very last day of the year means you have a whole another year in front of you. So the way we look at it is once it rolls over to be the first, it don't matter if it's the very first of that year. Shit, I go home next year. Even though you got to knock out this whole year. But it still feels like 2 years just by going off of you being in 2015 and you go home in 17. Rather than it being January 1st, 2016, and you'd be like, boy, I go home next year. You understand what I'm saying? So this New Year's Eve in particular, we all decided, you know what? We're going to get some liquor. All right? There's several ways to do it. Anyone who's been to prison already knows. Feel me? The officers been knowing about this shit and everything. A lot of them are even in on the shit. You feel me? But this one here particular, if y'all seen the video I just dropped not that long ago about mules, when people were forced to be mules, ones that gotta pack their ass and stuff, swoop, boof it, things like that, then you understand what it is I'm talking about. Okay? We had mules bring us liquor. Alright? Now, these weren't no big ass bottles or anything like that. These were the little small shot bottles, the ones that are just like a shot. They're about this big. You know what I'm saying? You can find them at your common liquor store and everything. And I will never forget, it was Bacardi Lime, okay? We had got a couple Bacardi Lime bottles snuck in through someone's ass, you feel me? And we decided, you know what, it's time to turn up and get crunk. You know what I'm saying? If y'all seen when I did my little cooking videos a little while ago, then y'all already were introduced to the Sprite and gummy bears. What we did is we mixed Sprite, gummy bears, and alcohol on this occasion, all right? Now, when I first drank it, we sipped on it so slow, like me and all my homeboys who all had our own cups, we sipped on it so slow because it's going to creep up on you. And something so small can actually do a big ass major effect on you, especially when your body has been in there and you haven't had alcohol in your system in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to drinking buck and stuff, that shit'll hit you too as well. But the next day, that shit'll mess your stomach up. That shit'll have your ass shitting the next day. Probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times probably. That's what buck's known to do. You feel me? But in this night, we're sipping on some good old Bacardi Lime. You feel me? And, once we were done drinking and shit like that, after the first shot went down, I felt real tingly. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, oh, shit. You feel me? I'm feeling like I'm getting a little crunk. And it was like me and like 4 other people, they were feeling the same way. We were lucky enough, we came across 7 bottles, 7 little shot bottles. So I only drank like 2 shots that night, which on the streets, 2 shots ain't really nothing, But in there, them 2 shots, boy, it felt like I drank a big ass, at least like a pint. That's what it felt like, drinking by myself, And I'll never forget, once I drank the first one, chewing on them gummy bears and shit, because them gummy bears going to absorb that alcohol. The Sprite's just so it ain't too strong. But the longer you let them gummy bears sit in that damn liquor, the more they going to blow up. And the more gooier they're going to get. You understand? Instead of being so hard to chew on, they're going to actually get real flubbery, like a jelly texture, you know, if you let them sit in that liquor long enough. So the first one, you know, we let that shit sit for a while. So after we were done drinking it, you know, we were able to chew on the little gummy bears we had. The second one, boom. Now it's time to make my second glass. Throw some gummy bears in there, fill it up with liquor. Pour a little bit of Sprite in there so it ain't that harsh. You know, we could have just slammed it real quick if we wanted to and then got crunk. But, you know, we wanted to enjoy it. It's New Year's. On this specific New Year's, the officers didn't give a damn what was going on. I was in an open bay dorm. They left the laundry doors open, so we were able to go from side 1 to side 2. Okay? If people have been to prison, then y'all understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'll break it down for you. You have a laundry room that is behind the officer station. The officer sits in a booth all day like this, and what he sees is, when he looks to his left, he sees one dorm with all the bunk beds. When he looks to his right, he sees the other dorm with the bunk beds. Dead in front of him is a wall like this, and then 2 TVs. So he could see in both TV rooms. He sees a TV right there and a TV right there. So if them people want to come out of their dorm and go in there and watch TV, they can. Same thing with this side. Now behind him, when he were to walk out of the booth, there's a laundry room. It's just like a room where they bring the laundry carts in and everything. Well, there's a door that they go in to get into that quad and a door they go in to get to that quad, you know. And on this New Year's, it was such a hangout, them officers left them shits open. They literally left it wide open to where we were allowed to go from one side to another. And I broke this down in a video a long time ago about when we hung out one night on New Year's. This is the same night, you understand? And we were allowed to go hang out over there, hang out with your homeboys that are in that quad. We just knew when the white shirt would come, like the officer, like the sarge, we knew we had to get back to where we were at. When it was count time, it's time to get back to where we were at, you know? And so everybody was hanging out, walking back and forth, smoking, vibing, you know. Nobody had any problems that night, so, you know, it was all just turn-up night. Everybody was chilling, vibed out. Now, the white shirt came in, so we all had to go to where our bunk was, go to the side we're supposed to be on, just to, you know, save the officer from getting in trouble. Because not all officers are dickheads, but when you come across ones that are actually decent, that are straight, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to risk, you know, messing that up, because they may take him out of your dorm now and then put a real shit eater in there. You feel me? So, you know, you want to, if he's cutting you some slack, you know what I'm saying? Shit, make sure you don't put nothing, you know, get his ass in trouble or nothing. You feel me? So we all ran back to where we're supposed to be at. White shirt comes in. White shirt comes around. He all of a sudden randomly wants to do locker checks. Okay, he started putting gloves on. He started going to random people's bunks, just searching their shit, flipping their bunks, you know, stuff like that. Because he smelt smoke when he got over there. Whole time I'm sitting over there tingling like, boy, I hope he don't come over here to my bunk. I hope he don't come over here to my bunk. But I guess y'all know he came to my bunk. Oh, Mr. Frog, stand up. I'm like, damn, here I am, tingly as hell. Now I'm sitting here, I got my hands behind my head. He searches me, pats me down. He goes to search on my stuff. He's taking, actually, in my mind, because I'm a little tipsy, in my mind, I feel like he's taking real long on my bunk compared to everyone else's bunk. Maybe he could have been, or maybe I was just, you know, a little on it that night. You feel me? But it dead ass felt like I was standing there with my hands behind my head for 25 minutes just for him to do one bunk. But he really flipped this person's bunk in like 2 minutes tops. You know what I'm saying? And he started saying shit to me about, like, I had a Busted magazine. Busted magazines are, you know, they're like Playboys. That's the best way I can put it. And he started saying things about that. And, you know, normally people try to, like, you don't try to get on the white shirt's bad side. You feel me? You don't try to get on his good side either. You try to avoid them, because they'll literally just put your ass in confinement under investigation for no reason at all, just to do it. So this night here, I was sitting there and I was like, shit. I had my hands on my head. And he was talking about my Busted magazine, and here I go. I'm like, I know she look better than your wife, ain't it? Don't lie now, Sarge. You feel me? That's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie now. Shit like that. And he looked at me and he was like, I should take this motherfucking magazine from you. Like that. And I was like, man, you know, shit, do what you gotta do. I really didn't care, because that second shot bottle kicked in. I felt good as hell, boy. You can do what you gotta do. Flip that shit. That's what it's there for. Go ahead, flip it. I don't care. So then you got the white shirt, the captain, and then you got the sergeant in our dorm. He's doing what he's got to do, you know. So he's flipping the bunk with the captain. You feel me? And He didn't take my magazine, though. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he was acting like he was going to take my magazine. But if I wasn't, like, tipsy a little bit, I would have just sat there like this and wouldn't have said 2 words to him. You feel me? But since he, you know, I was feeling a little bit, I was like, shit, I know she look better than your wife, ain't it, Sarge? Don't lie now. Don't lie now. And then I lean away, ain't it, y'all? She look better than his wife, ain't it, huh? She just because, you know, when you get crunk, you're like, shit, it is what it is. What is the box? You know what I'm saying? So, we're all sitting there chilling and vibing and shit. And I remember I had a Snapchat. You feel me? So I made Snapchat. I was posting the snaps of me drinking and all this shit like that. You know, wasn't thinking anyone's going to get me in trouble or anything like that. I guess you know. Next thing you know, the next day, that whole night was straight. The next day, they come in there. They come to my bed. They surround my bed. They take me to confinement, put me under investigation. Right? I'm back there like, man, what I'm going under investigation for? I ain't did nothing. What I do? Because last time I was put under investigation, someone got stabbed. So they tried to say maybe I was involved. And I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But, so, this time I'm like, damn, why I'm going under investigation now? Which 9 times out of 10, it always has something to do with phones. You feel me? And believe it or not, man, someone was on my Snapchat. And they literally called up there and told these people. That's what I was getting out of it. But then again, I'm not sure if one of these officers decided to follow me on Snapchat. You see what I'm saying? And then told another officer, and it just got to the white shirt, and then the warden and all of them. Now I'm in confinement, sitting back there for like 70 days. You feel me? 70 days under investigation. Just sitting back there waiting for them to tell me if I'm getting transferred, am I getting a phone DR, or what it is. And guess what they did? They finally took me off investigation. But I just gave them a free 70 days on the house. But I'll tell you one thing, though. Them 70 days was well worth it. Believe it or not. Some people may think I'm wrong. Some people may think I'm right. Man, I'm in prison. I'm only entitled to so much. I'm only entitled to what's in front of me, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm drinking real street liquor. I'm in this shit vibing, hanging out, bro. I got real Bacardi, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is a hangout, bro. It's a new year. Shit, I started off my new year in the box, 70 days. By the time I got out, we almost 3 months in on the new year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, it is what it is. Like, I started that shit with a bang, if you ask me, you know? And if I would have had regular buck, you know, or the homemade chain gang wine and all that stuff, or if I wasn't drinking at all, then I would have been like, damn, I played, dog. Came in this shit, but I would have been back there stressing about it. Like, man, this some bullshit, dog. I'm back here for no damn reason, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this shit crazy. But since I got to hang out and vibe and enjoy myself on that New Year's night, it was all worth it. Straight up. You couldn't tell me, would you do it again? Because I'm not in prison now, obviously. But yes, I would do it again. You feel me? Because I know how to do box time. You know, I know how to do time in general. So it was all worth it to me. You see what I'm saying? There was a bullshit reason why I went. You know what I'm saying? And I was dead ass guilty. Like, yeah, you feel me? Shit. Once they said Snapchat and all this shit, I knew I was caught. Because I made my Snapchat when I was in prison. I never knew of Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? And once they mentioned the Snapchat and all that shit, I was like, oh yeah, I'm caught. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't know this about me. But I mentioned this before. I've been to confinement for like almost all social media platforms you could think of. I've been to confinement for Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Pandora. You know what I'm saying? Snapchat, like everything you can think of, bro. I done been to confinement for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had phones and stuff, you know? I'm not proud of it, but damn, this is where we landed today. Look where we're at right now. Look how far we've come. You understand? And for some reason, when you're not allowed to do something in prison or even on the streets, you want to do it even more for some reason. So me, I wanted to drink some street liquor because I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I shouldn't have been drinking at all, but at the same time, it was well worth it, and I enjoyed it. And that was my very first time drinking street liquor, okay? I never expected it. It just popped up into the questions one time, and we're like, shit, you know what? Hell yeah, we might as well. And then later on down the line, I realized everyone runs around and tries to get buck and street and homemade wine and stuff like that around New Year's time. But I can always remember me and my dogs, we can get bottles if we want to. You know what I'm saying? And that right there was like a good time for me in prison. Now, there's no way I wasn't going to come on this video without showing y'all exactly what it is that I did. You understand? So right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show y'all the little fixings that I did. Now, you know this Kfrogtv, you feel me? So it don't get more realer than this, you feel me? But what we were drinking out of that night was a regular water bottle. Of course, we got our gummy bears on deck. You know what I'm saying? And all we did is we stuffed a bunch of them in here. You feel me? Which is common sense. I'd already done broke it down to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But tonight, you know, I decided, you know what? I might as well drink it. Why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? You can put as many of them as you want in there. It don't really matter. You feel me? Just enough to add flavor. So we're going to stuff it all in here like this real quick. Just like this. Just so y'all can see. And then, on top of this, here goes the Bacardi Limes. These are the same exact ones that we had. Same exact ones. Same ones. Can't even lie. Same exact ones. Look at that. That's a lot. That's a lot right there already. For someone who definitely ain't, you know, but we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna put 2 of them in there. Why? Because we feel like it. This Kfrogtv over here, you feel me? We're gonna throw 2 of them bad boys in there like that. You see that? Mix them shits all up like that. And then, of course, got the good old Sprite. Get that Sprite in your life, you feel me? Just add a little bit. Probably like right here. Do just like that. There it is, y'all. Yep. First time drinking in the chain gang was the same exact things. Same exact. Look at it cooking. Look at it. Can you hear it? Look at it cooking. Oh, yeah. Look at them bubbles going. For anyone whoever made my Sprite and gummy bears recipe that I was showing in my cooking videos, then you know what I'm talking about. You know this shit literally boils up. It literally starts boiling from the tip top. Up here, it just starts boiling. You feel me? And this is exactly what we drank when I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing major. It's common things. But I just figured I'd come on here and share it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So before we end this video, I'm going to tell y'all cheers. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next time. This Frog. Woo-wee.